Good evening, class of 2013, faculty, staff, parents, grandparents, and friends. My name is Meg Gerton, and I'm the senior class secretary. Tonight, I have the privilege of welcoming you all to this very momentous and exciting occasion, the graduation of the class of 2013. Probably one of the worst kept secrets in the history of Radnor is that the class of 2013 is Mr. Skellinger's favorite. Although I do not want to speak for the majority of faculty members, I would have to imagine that most would agree with him. As a class, our spirit, unity, poise, and integrity are all testaments to our achievements. I've heard it said that high school is a microcosm for the world, that those stereotypical cool kids, band geeks, athletes, brainiacs, and power-thirsty student council kids all exist in Congress, hospitals, and book clubs. I don't know if Radnor really is a microcosm for the world. Maybe at our 5 or 10 year reunion I will. But I do know that looking back over these past 4 years, it has made me realize that Radnor High School is a cliche. Then again, maybe I've just watched one too many 80s teen classics. Radnor, a cliche, anyone? See, there you have it. You have to have the cliche of the kid who speaks at graduation and really isn't funny at all, but tries to be. I can honestly say that I believe that movies and TV shows use Radnor as their inspiration. You can watch the LM pep rally in the TV show Friday Night Lights, or read about the ups and downs of balancing relationships in the Hunger Games. I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift even writes songs about the way the girls at Radnor get asked to prom. Although our English teachers always tell us students to avoid cliches in our writing, and the word sometimes has a negative connotation, I can't think of a more appropriate word to describe our time at Radnor. Radnor is a cliche because the students are exposed to the good, the bad, and everything else in between of the high school experience. The camaraderie of LM Week, the stress of exams and AP test, and the news and information that makes us high school kids feel vulnerable are all elements of the Radnor experience. We embrace the cliche of Radnor because we live it, and we can't imagine having it any other way. All of these cliched high school experiences have been worthwhile because I'm confident that we are all prepared to navigate our futures with success. Our cliche ensures that everyone has a place where they belong, a place to express themselves, to experience new things outside of their comfort zone, and most importantly, a place to feel proud of. I think my classmates will agree with me when I say that today, as I graduate, I am proud to be a Raider. At this time, I would like to introduce a good friend of mine. He never fails to surprise me in all of his many talents, and his future is very bright. Andrew Lynn, the class of 2013 treasurer.
Good evening. So it truly is an honor for me to be able to address all of you as the treasurer of the class of 2013. There's something really special about this class, about its continuing successes in all manner of fields, from athletics to academics and beyond, that is almost indescribable, that cannot successfully be conveyed with words. Now, despite that, I'm going to have to describe it anyway in my introduction of our class vice president. As a whole, the Radnor High School class of 2013 exhibits in its collective achievements a unique will to succeed, regardless of obstacles both external and internal. Fostered by our parents and teachers, for whom we are eternally grateful, we members of the class of 2013 are each seized with a certain resolve, with a unique drive to create, innovate, and soar far above whatever dares stand in our way. Perhaps that is why we have chosen our class vice president, for she truly does exemplify the spirit of the class of 2013. In her labors as vice president of our class, along with her tremendous dedication to lacrosse and her many other extracurriculars, she truly is the living codification of what it means to be a Radnor student. It is my honor to introduce your class vice president, Abby Jr.
Hello, class of 2013. Congratulations on making it here today. There are definitely more than a few moments when we doubted our ability to get here. Tears doing college applications, severe lack of sleep, and the constant race against the clock to make it to school on time. But here we are, all of us together. I'm very much looking forward to summer, as I assume everyone here is as well. This summer, I'm working as a lifeguard at the local pool club that I went to growing up. Right, yeah. At my pool, in order to swim in the deep end and go off the slide, you have to pass a swim test. Once you pass, you get a tag that you pin onto your bathing suit, and more importantly, a badge to everyone else that you're a mature, accomplished swimmer. The majority of us here could easily pass the tag test because of our great year of swim class. But until recently, I had forgotten the mental struggle it was to swim 1.5 laps and to tread water for 90 seconds. I remember the summer I got my tag vividly. I had taken swimming lessons for years, actually many of them at our high school's own pool, and swimming was not difficult for me. But every time my mom suggested that I take the tag test, I froze up and pretended that I was perfectly content playing in the shallow end of the pool, but I had to hide my desires to jump off the diving board in the deep end. By early August, though, I could not conceal how much I wanted my tag. One day, my mom was able to persuade me to try and take the test. I can remember nervously going up to the front desk to ask the lifeguards to take it. They breezily replied, "Sure," much how I answer the same question today. I was sick to my stomach with every possibility of what could go wrong. What if I forgot to kick and drowned right there? Or what if my goggles fell off and I couldn't see? By the time we had reached the area of the pool that I was to take the test, I was in a state of hysteria and probably would have failed because I was hyperventilating. Just as I was preparing to turn to tell my mom that I couldn't do this, the lifeguard who was just off stand came and put his hand on my shoulder. He said, "Abby, you're going to do great. I can feel you're getting your tag today." For a second, I let myself be persuaded, and in that moment of bravery, dove in the pool and swam. That afternoon, I passed my tag test and have jumped off the diving boards hundreds of times. What I've been realizing, though, from this story and from watching many similar cases at work, is that we all need that person who can give us the extra boost of confidence when the faith in ourselves is faltering. The lifeguards' actions reminded me a lot of the community we have here at Radnor. The support that we share for one another, whether it is when a friend has artwork on display, or cheering on classmates in the musical, or joining the Radnor Ruckus at a boys' soccer game, has never faltered. President Obama once said when talking about people in general, "We are stronger together than we are alone." And that's so true of us as a school, but more importantly, of us as a class. Our unity is a gift that we've given one another, no matter how much we want to leave Radnor. Because we have an incredible class that is inadvertently a support system, we must continue to aid one another to achieve our goals and reach beyond any boundaries blocking our path. One of the best ways we can help one another is by encouraging each other to take risks. Risks are so often looked at with a negative connotation. You're taking a risk by driving when it's so rainy outside. You're risking your entire academic future by not studying for that test. Risks hint at failure, which is to be avoided at all costs, right? As I was writing this, though, and during my many hours up on the lifeguard stand, I couldn't help but ask myself, why? Why do we let the fear of failure turn us away from what could be an incredible opportunity? We're already scared of drowning before we've even got our feet in the pool. We are fortunate enough to live in a wonderful community that has always been comfortable for us. But this is not the time for us to be comfortable. Let's make ourselves uncomfortable and discover who we really are. Let's put ourselves in new situations, meet interesting people, and apply for the job we never thought we could get. I want us all to go out into the world with a yes attitude. We are absolutely all going to fail at some point, and that's okay. Failure is inevitable if you want to achieve greatness. You're going to get a great story or lesson out of it, and maybe if you're really fortunate, both. Push each other to say yes, just like the lifeguard did for me before my tag test. By saying no, we're losing opportunities, potential friendships, and who knows what else. We will only ever achieve in proportion to how much we risk, and feel confident to take that risk with your classmates from Radnor always prepared to support you. After today, we're all headed in various directions, but we will always have something in common. That something is Radnor. This is a uniting force because whether we like it or not, where we come from is just as important as where we're going. For the past 4 years, we have encouraged one another to keep achieving and to be the best versions of ourselves as we can. This needs to be continued as we are about to face even larger challenges than on a Calc 1 test. So, we've survived 4 awesome LM weeks, hundreds of hours of studying, and of course the legendary ASAP vs. Gents game. I think we can handle anything at this point, or at least we're ready to try. Congratulations, everyone. I could not be more proud to call you classmates. Thank you.
All right, yep, you were my favorite, but what you all know is you're not really my class, you are Mrs. Butler's class. And I think you guys might want to say a little goodbye to her right now if you could. Just let her know how you feel. Whoop. Your growth over the last 4 years is what I'm going to remember. It has been remarkable, and as Abby said, get a little uncomfortable. Continue to grow every single day, and you will be happy and successful, I promise you. The future is not a gift, it's an achievement. Robert F. Kennedy said that. It applies to you guys very, very much. Our speaker tonight, Matt Miller, sat exactly where you all sit now just 7 years ago. He is a 2006 graduate of Radnor High School. His journey in these 7 short years has been a remarkable one, and one that we know will inspire you as you begin your own journey through college and adulthood. Matt will speak tonight of what he calls a life-awakening experience. After Radnor, Matt went off to the University of Virginia. In the fall of his 3rd year, training for a triathlon, Matt was hit by a car on the Blue Ridge Parkway in Virginia after riding his bike up a mountain. His face was crushed in the accident. His brain was injured. He stopped breathing. A remarkable series of events, perhaps even miracles, saved his life. Matt demonstrated faith, incredible determination, and a positive attitude in his recovery, which was chronicled first in the Philadelphia Inquirer, then in a book, The Road Back. His comeback was and is astonishing. Almost 2 years to the day after the accident, Matt was enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania as a first-year medical student and, at the same time, if that wasn't remarkable enough, completed the Ironman triathlon, 2.4 miles swimming, 112 miles on a bicycle, followed by a full marathon of 26.2 miles. Matt is now beginning his 4th year in medical school. He is engaged to Emily Privet, whom he took to the Radnor High School senior prom, and who is also a Penn medical student. He is here tonight to show you what faith, optimism, and determination can achieve. Class of 2013, I present you Matt Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Skellinger, for that very generous introduction. And thank you to you, the class of 2013, for having me here tonight. As Mr. Skellinger said, I was sitting where you all are just 7 years ago, and it's pretty cool for me to have the opportunity to pass on some things I have learned since leaving Radnor. And the first thing I'm going to share is that you all should be extremely proud to graduate from Radnor High School. Some of you know this. For others, including myself at the time I graduated, it might take some time to realize just what an accomplishment this is. I went to one of the top undergraduate universities in the country, and I spent the last few years at a top medical school. And never once have I met someone better prepared from their K through 12 years, thanks to Radnor. Whether your next step in life is going to college, beginning a career, or simply taking the time needed to figure out that next step, Radnor has given you the best possible preparation to succeed. You should take comfort in knowing that. But I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about 3 life lessons, to use a cliche, that helped me recover from my bicycling accident in November 2008, which resulted in severe traumatic brain injury and every bone in my face being shattered. About 2 months after the accident, after waking up from a medically induced coma, I finished my fall semester class at UVA. A little over 5 months later, I completed a half marathon going 9 minutes faster than my personal best. Without question, I was lucky. Made it to the hospital alive, I was spared permanent brain injury, and I had the best medical care and support team around me that anyone could ask for. But I also do think that the 3 lessons I'm going to share with you contributed significantly to getting me to where I am today. And I'm hopeful that they will help each one of you in your own way as you begin new chapters in your lives. So here we go. Lesson number 1, be persistent, stubborn even. If you want something in life, remain determined and don't stop fighting for it. I was dumped by my now fiance after the Radnor Middle School 8th grade semi-formal by AOL Instant Messenger. 4 years later, though, I finally convinced her to go out with me again, and the rest is history. If you work hard and remain determined, good things will happen. Just ask Emily. But good things don't always happen, which brings me to lesson number 2, which your vice president already introduced for me. Failure is not fatal. There will be times in life when you give something everything you have, yet fall short of your goals. And this can be a tough pill to swallow. But realize that if you work hard and give something your best shot, then no matter what the result, you've accomplished a lot. I learned this my senior year at Radnor when I worked harder than ever before to get to the state swim meet and help our team win the state championships. Yet by the end of the season, I barely qualified for states and hardly improved my performances from the year before. However, perhaps surprisingly, I was not that disappointed because I knew how hard I worked. I knew I'd given it my best shot. When you achieve success, your triumph is over, you begin working toward a new goal. When you fall short, you have put your heart into accomplishing something, and no one can ever take that away. Winston Churchill said this best: success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Most people will only regret the times in their lives when they fail to go after something because of fear of failure. I have never once looked back in disappointment because I tried something and did not succeed. However, I can say that I have wished I had gone after something that I let slip by because I didn't think I could do it. As you go forward in life, never let fear of failure stop you from going after your goals. Trying and not succeeding is a lot better than not trying at all. And as I move to the last point, I'm going to stay with the same theme of not obsessing over the end result. Lesson number 3, how you do things in life is more important than how things turn out. To put it differently, the way we carry ourselves, our actions and our character mean a lot more than whether we achieve a certain outcome. There are people, and you will run into them, who will make it priorities 1 through 100 to achieve success, no matter what it does to their character, no matter how their pursuit of success affects those around them. Sometimes their world falls down upon them well after they've achieved success. But suppose you get away with it. You achieve success even though you used behavior that was not ethical, and no one knows. You will. To this point in your lives, many of you have had someone looking over your shoulder, a loved one, a teacher, a coach, all 3, making sure, encouraging you to make the right choices, encouraging you to live life right. And when you have strayed from the path, as we all have done many times, there have typically been immediate consequences. After-school detention, being grounded by your parents, being benched from the next game. As you gain independence, however, you will often make decisions that don't have such obvious and immediate consequences. You will be able to make choices that might make it easier to achieve a certain outcome, but only by jeopardizing your principles. As you gain this freedom to make all your own decisions, remember the lessons you've learned from Radnor, loved ones, and so many others. Make the choices you know are right, such as treat everyone in life with respect, no matter who they are, no matter what position they hold. A few months ago, I was at a symposium held by a medical department down at Penn. The chairman of the department, when describing how best to position yourself for acceptance into their residency program after school, said 2 people could veto even the best candidate and prevent his or her acceptance. Those 2 individuals, he said, are him and his administrative assistant. Many qualified candidates had ruined their chances of being accepted into his residency program because they'd been disrespectful to his assistant during the application process. And to the chairman, this spoke volumes about their character. You've heard it 100 times, but I'm going to say it once more tonight. Treat everyone in life how you'd like to be treated. It's the right thing to do, and people will notice. So always be respectful. Also, no matter how much you accomplish, remain humble. You can be confident without becoming arrogant. You do not need to speak of your own successes. Why? Because when you accomplish something great, people are going to know. You don't need to tell them. The most impressive people are those who have achieved great success, yet still pride themselves in their humility. So be respectful, be humble. My last bit of advice is simple. Just live every day trying to be the best person you can be. Value your own integrity and let this guide you. Remain honest, work hard, and be a team player. If you have an opportunity to help others around you to make them look good, don't hesitate to take it. For every success I've achieved in life, there have always been others who've played a crucial role in my accomplishments. And I bet if you look at most of your achievements, very few of them have been achieved without any help. And realizing this is what allows us to value everyone's contribution in life, to treat everyone with respect, to always remain humble, and to go out of our way for others. I cannot stress enough the importance of maintaining strong character and principles as you grow older. Honesty, hard work, humility, and being a team player will earn tremendous respect from all those around you. And this respect is going to help you build strong relationships. Relationships which will help you achieve success throughout life, bring you happiness every single day, and even save your life when you need others the most, as I learned 4 years ago after my bicycling accident. To conclude, I'd like to congratulate you one last time on all of your accomplishments that have brought you to this point. Radnor has given you the skills that will help you accomplish great things as you go forward. And as you work toward accomplishing great things, do not let a single-minded focus on the end result get in the way of striving to be the best person you can be, a person of integrity. Lastly, remember that failure is not fatal. We all will fall short of our goals sometimes, and all successes come to an end. But not being afraid to fail and continuing to fight and pursue your goals will lead to success, fulfillment, and happiness throughout life. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
That is what Radnor is about. In the short time I've been here, I've learned that. Good evening and welcome to our honored guests, parents, guardians, and Board of School Directors in class of 2013. A personal thank you to our graduates, parents, guardians, faculty, and staff and school board for all you do every day for our schools and the community. We are truly blessed to be at Radnor. To our graduates, please take a few moments to thank the people who saw you safely through today. And I would like to start a tradition and ask our seniors to please rise and show your gratitude and appreciation to your parents with a huge round of applause. For the grandparents, that's a Kodak moment. For everyone else, that's what we call the iPhone moment, so you can take pictures. Thank you, seniors. That also gives them an opportunity to stretch their legs. My message tonight will be a short one, but reflects on the values of family and lifelong friendships you have made while at Radnor. And the speaker tonight spoke a little bit about that as he's now engaged to his former sweetheart as a middle school person. My motivation of this topic comes from an article from Allison Elliott in her article, I'm Not Ready, in the June edition of the Radnorite. And I read that, and I know some of you believe that no one reads your paper. A lot of people read your paper, and I find it not just entertaining, but very insightful. She starts off, I'm not so ready to graduate. Naturally now, as graduation is actually upon us, all I can say is, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to abandon the wonderful home that Radnor School has become. I'm not ready to survive without the warm and familiar faces of teachers and friends that I have come to know so well over the past 4 years. Great schools, great communities have a willingness to work and stay together as a family. Friends that you've worked with, not just for 12 years, but the past 4 years. You've built those bonds, and that's extremely, extremely important. This reminded me of a poem a former student of mine had written, and I'd like to provide that and talk about that tonight just very briefly. It's about family and friendships. Miles apart and far away, everyone departs and goes today. We say goodbyes, ready for fun. The past 12 years are finally done. Girls in their white dresses, guys dressed up too, everything from their hair to their shoes. The time has come to walk across the stage, and the book has come to its final page. This year is over now. The time has come to scream and shout. Now is the day we open a new door and embark on a journey we've planned for. All across the nation we will go. Planes will fly to and fro. But in the end, when all is said and done, there always will be just one. The family we built remains strong forever, even if we aren't together. And in the end, behind all the years, we'll sign the postcard. Radnor, class of 2013, we wish you were here. Now, it's my honor to thank Allison for her motivation, and it's my honor to introduce our valedictorian, Daniel Michelson, and Sheba Rather, our salutatorian. So, Dan, as you begin to walk up, I will make the introductions. Mr. Michelson is a 2013 National Merit Scholarship winner and served as the editor-in-chief of the student newspaper. A footnote, he also had an article in the June issue of the paper talking about, from his freshman year, how people really wouldn't read the paper. But obviously he has motivated at least one here to read the paper and be very enthralled by it. So I thank you for that. He was also the vice president of the Radnor Model United Nations Club. He has lettered 4 times as a defenseman for the ice hockey team and also played doubles for the varsity tennis team over the past 2 years. Mr. Michelson has served as treasurer for the Radnor Society for Childhood Cancer Awareness, helping raise more than $8,000 to fund childhood cancer. As a junior, he received the Harvard Book Award, the Rensselaer Medal for Outstanding Achievement in Math and Science. Mr. Michelson will attend Yale University in the fall and hopes to pursue a career in medicine. I will now introduce Ms. Rather. Is a 2013 National Merit Scholarship finalist and a varsity volleyball athlete who served as a Radnor's middle hitter since her freshman year. Having played the double bass since elementary school, Ms. Rather attended both district and regional festivals for band as well as orchestra. And I don't believe I've ever heard anyone have both honors. And was a member of the school's honors jazz band. As a vice president of Radnor's Model United Nations Club, Ms. Radner was provided various opportunities to explore her interest in international relations and public speaking. She has been an active member of student council since her freshman year and is the senior class president. Ms. Radner will attend Harvard University in the fall. Congratulations to these fine students and to each and every one of you. You will be missed. Dan? Congratulations.
All right, so first I guess I have to thank Dr. Costello for that Radnor 8 shout out. It's nice to hear that people do read the paper. All right. So, as some of you may know, there are actually 2 Daniel Michelsons in the Radnor High School class of 2013. There's lacrosse superstar Danny Michaelson Michelson, and then there's Asian Jewish Daniel Michelson. That'd be me. Living alongside my twin, as we call one another, for the last 7 years has been an interesting experience, certainly for me at least, and I'm fairly sure for him as well. Last year, for instance, I almost had a heart attack when I got my schedule, and I wasn't actually signed up for any of the classes I had requested. And let me make it clear once and for all that no, my mother is not on the school board. That would be Susan Michelson, the other Danny Michelson's mother. But despite all the confusion, I can assure you that we are indeed 2 different people. And although there have definitely been some drawbacks to going to school with someone with the same name as me for the past 7 years, one huge benefit I've derived from the whole thing has been a drive to figure out who I am, to create my own identity. When I came to Radnor in the 6th grade, people called me the other Dan Michelson, which kind of bugged me. Like, why did I have to be the other one, right? And so to rectify the situation, I've tried to earn my own distinctions, and I think, at least academically, that's what's worked for me. Now I'm not the other Dan Michelson, I'm the nerdy Dan Michelson. But you know, I'll take it. And so while part of high school has been about figuring out how to fit in, these last 7 years alongside my twin have also been about discovering how to stand out. And while not everyone has to deal with a nominative twin, high school in general is a time when we all struggle with that contradiction, with being part of a community, but also with finding ways to distinguish ourselves. But now, the real world, at least in some sense, is upon us. It's kind of alarming to read everyone's tweets and Facebook posts about the last day of high school, to go to a different graduation party every day, and to realize that our time in high school is already done. That next year, we'll all be in different places, doing different things, and that in the not too distant future, we'll no longer be growing up, we'll be grown-ups. That's a scary thing, and as we begin to confront our impending adulthoods, we once again have to struggle, as we did in high school, with the question of how to fit in and how to stand out. But at the end of my sophomore year, my English teacher, Mr. Neary, offered some advice that's helped me in finding an answer. No matter what life demands, he told me, hold on to your sense of idealism, your dreams. That's what's going to enable you to leave your mark on the world. And that, I think, is the right way to approach growing up. Yes, the realities of adult life are creeping towards us. Next year, most of us will be living by ourselves, and pretty soon, we'll all have to pay rent and buy groceries and file taxes and do all the hundreds of other little banalities that go along with adulthood. But this down-to-earth pragmatism, as I learned from Mr. Neary, shouldn't keep us from reaching for our dreams. One of my friends was telling me a little while ago about how, when he was little, he wanted to be an astronaut. But as he grew up, he learned about the rigorous physical requirements, and given his below-average eyesight, he had to reevaluate that dream. So he decided instead to become an engineer, working on the rockets and spacecraft that get the astronauts into space. And to me, that sort of resolve really embodies the idea that there's a place for each of us, a place where we can both fit in and stand out, a place where we can not only dream, but also live out our dreams. We have all the tools we need to achieve those dreams. For that, I'd like to thank Mr. Skellinger, all the administrators, the teachers, the school staff, all the parents, the siblings, the grandparents, and everyone else who has played a part in bringing us to where we are today. And now, as we move forward into this next stage of our lives, as we prepare to put those tools to use, I urge you all to find and embrace your place, that place where you both fit in and stand out, that place where you can take your childhood dreams and work them into reality. Thank you all, and congratulations, Radnor High School, class of 2013.
When asked to give a speech at graduation, I received some of the usual advice. Give a Gandhi quote. Acknowledge the past, but expose the future. Channel the energy of Will Ferrell. Be Will Ferrell. Create a satire of your experiences, but don't insult anyone. That's why, when challenged with the daunting task of addressing the class of 2013, I just smiled, said yes, and acted as if it all made sense. How do I describe a class that's defied all boundaries? One that surpassed all expectations, and one that created a community of belonging and oneness? How do I, a peer, create a speech that embodies a class that teachers frequently describe as one with infinite possibilities? Infinity exists merely as a concept in math. It first appeared as the sideways 8 in our younger years, and now haunts us as something much more difficult to grasp. Infinity is abstract. It verges on nonsensical. Something larger than life. Infinity is a place you can never get to, you can never reach. In Stephen Chbosky's Perks of Being a Wallflower, Charlie, a high schooler very much like ourselves, tackles his evolving world saying, "Right now, we are alive, and in this moment, I swear, we are infinite." Charlie acknowledges moments in life as timeless, as forces to be reckoned with. But I ask you, how can people like Charlie describe some of the most quintessential moments as an indefinite idea that mathematics tells us does not exist? I may identify myself as a math person, but I would be a fool not to acknowledge its flaws. Sorry, Mr. McBride. Math fails to account for people, for the inherent human nature that allows us to feel and act the way we do. Although it infiltrates our classes as something beyond comprehension, infinity lives in not only ourselves, but in each other. The feeling of infinity that Charlie describes thrives in Radnor, and more specifically, in our class. Infinity is when I fell off the mechanical shark after 9 seconds in post-prom. Or when Matt Pelton won his 100th match. When my brother and I started a family feud over LeBron versus Kobe. When the artwork of Sophia Demopoulos decorated the halls. When, during LM week, we believed that we would win, and we did. When my parents and I watched a live stream cricket match at 3 a.m. When Natalia Salinas wrote her final Radnorite article. When physics launched their model rockets across the Blue Route. When, as seniors, we took our final laps around the high school on the scooters of our childhood. Infinity is when we, the class of 2013, sit together to celebrate the last 4 years of our lives in anticipation of the next. Moments like these, they're freeing. They expose us to novel heights and emotions. I can't say that infinity only lives in the class of 2013, or in Radnor for that matter. I can say, however, that over the last 4 years of high school, our class has welcomed the idea of a force much greater than ourselves. To be willing to forego the comfort of isolation for unity is a task our class has embraced. As we move on to the next chapters of our lives, seek this weightlessness. Others will incessantly tell you that because something is intangible, it does not exist. Challenge that notion. Hunt the concepts we can't grapple at first. Passion, fear, infinity. They may be hidden, hardest to find in times of despair, but they do live on. Class of 2013, we have found infinity. Class of 2013, we are infinite.
I'm gonna miss you guys, but it's time. It is very much time. So, Dr. Costello, Mr. Zajac, for the purpose of awarding diplomas, I proudly present to you the Radnor High School class of 2013.
Sheba Rather.
Abigail Louise Jr.
Andrew Austin Lynn.
Margaret Elizabeth Girton.
Adam Alisad.
Christopher James Albany.
Ariane Kada Abadi.
Erica Ashley Abrams.
Muhammad Malik Akurdi.
Kiari Allen.
Irina An.
Iram Alusalami.
Samuel Ferguson Bell.
Colin Walsh Veronic.
Elizabeth Marie Anderson.
Karen Elena Anthony.
Carrie Javian Bina.
William John Lessing Biddles.
Ashley Carolyn Bennett.
Alexa Ray Burtwhistle.
Christopher Zekan Lazy.
Husnin Ali Bukhari.
Emma Cravado Bolton.
Catherine Lee Borkovitz.
Christopher Patrick Bowl.
Thomas Michael Brett.
Camilla Furness Bowden.
Emily Caroline Boys.
Matthew George Brodsky.
Kwang Nok Bui.
Alexandra Eve Bozzini.
Lindsay Sarah Britton.
Jesse Christopher Bunch.
Robert Dana Burke.
Devin Eileen Brown.
Lauren Olivia Bruce.
Brian Kai.
Ian Thompson Cairns.
Michelle Fox Bryan.
Julia Kathleen Brick.
Jake Campolo.
Sean Edward Young.
Caitlin Louise Carney.
Kristen Margaret Carson.
Martin William Caulfield III.
Timothy Frederick Salucci.
Christine Marie Kaufman.
Angela Yaru Chang.
Nicholas Chang.
Ali Ikram Chaudhry.
Jacqueline Chen.
Allison Mackenzie Sierra.
Andrew Chen.
Michael Silverblatt Cherry.
Shakira Nishay Clark.
Caitlin Rose Cleveland.
Hojay Chun.
Brady Frederick Clapp.
Grace Elizabeth Collins.
Victoria Noel Collins.
William Robert Clopine.
Alec Maxwell Cohen.
Kelly Ann Colton.
Emerson Lee Congleton.
Kevin Patrick Cox.
Matthew Robert Crawford.
Katie Genevieve Cooper.
Leah Mary Coppage Gross.
Charles Jerome Canulio.
Brian Thomas Cutler.
Sydney Lynn Coles.
Kyla Rose Crombie.
Rigel Deming.
Brooks Robert Davis.
Catherine Rose Cryan.
Caroline Hamilton Cunningham.
James Wesley Dixon.
Ernest Joudonnet Jr.
Elizabeth Ann Curley.
Priya Kristen DeMello.
Alexander Norman DeMaio.
Peter Gilson Donato.
Jessica Marie DeAngelis.
Robin Bengal de la Garza.
Michael G. Dubner.
Scott Forrest Dubrow.
Sophia Hannum Demopoulos.
Elizabeth Ann Devaney.
Cole Thomas Ebersol.
Omar Mamdou Idris.
Yashi Dixit.
Allison Molly Elliott.
Adam Brian Urkis.
Anai Brennan Evans.
Melissa Alexandra Erazo.
Sophia Faudy.
Declan Marshall Evans.
Thomas Stanley Farnish Jr.
Jacqueline Diane Fay.
Ellen Apdale Francis.
Stephen James Fay.
Richard Loy Fratura.
Krista Taylor Frank.
Taylor Catherine Fiore.
Thomas John Gangle.
Kenechi Wilson Garner.
Jessica Rose Duralis.
Elaine Tracy. Elaine Tracy Tequila Gay.
Kyle Harrison Getner.
Jacob Samuel Ginsburg.
Megan Ellen Gerber.
Sion Slavin Gospodinov.
William Albert Greenfield.
Peter Benjamin Grillo.
Catherine Lewis Gregg.
Andrea Mariana Grillo.
John Spencer Hagstrom.
Tyler William Helms.
Devin Blair Hackett.
Catherine Comfort Harper.
Thomas John Hemsher.
Nathan Joseph Hochberger.
Sarah Jane Harrington.
Lauren Andrea Harris.
William Huh.
Daniel Huey.
Nicole Marie Hemsher.
Hannah Gorlick Hosseini.
Samuel Kerrigan Hurley.
Saad Imran.
Aaron Taylor Howe.
Manur Imran.
Yurichiro Iwamoto.
Brandon James Jackson.
Gigi Kalustian.
Madeline Diane Kaufman.
Kashif Brady James.
Brandon Kenneth Johnson.
Joelle Najla Corey.
Hyung Eun Kim.
Cameron Jacob Jones.
Rodney David Jones.
Mary Alice Klein.
Lindsay Ray Korzekwa.
Frank Jong.
Alan Kaplan.
Parvaneh Isabel Larajani.
Christine Lee.
Hamid Aslam Khan.
Maxwell Kane Killian.
Devin Lee.
Joanne Yawan Lee.
Alexander Pumsu Kim.
John Charles King.
Catherine Ann Locasell.
Kate Robbins Levenberg.
Duncan Oliver Kingsbury.
Benjamin Eli Kleinman.
Allison Marie Ziegler.
Emily Da Lu.
Michael Lawrence Kleinman.
Christopher Benalio Lane.
Marie Lyons.
Paige Virginia Lyons.
John Kirkpatrick Lauhoff.
Jun Young Lee.
Jenna Renee Maynardi.
India Jade Mayo.
Andrew David Lair.
Matthew Lyle Levenick.
Rebecca Christine Maz.
Emily Jean McCarran.
Matthew Edbril Levitan.
William Albert Levy.
Madison Olivia McClure.
Sarah Grace McCone.
John Gartland Lowry.
Matthew Patrick Lundstrom.
Kelsey Marie McHugh.
Emily Marie Melvin.
Adam Lutz.
James Michael Madden.
Catherine Elizabeth Marin.
Allison Mosier Mills.
Eliezer Zahir Marte.
Alex John Mandarak.
Ellen Susan Malarkey.
Dyson Ashby Neeb.
Bradley David Martin.
Brendan Henry Mandarak.
Mikkel Javon Newsome.
Chiti Nyot Win.
Christopher Benners Martin.
Shu Yan.
Emma Eckstein Nicosia.
Hannah Welsh North.
Joshua Kenton McCowan.
Say again.
Nicholas McDermott.
Atusa Normanad.
Siobhan Claire Osborne.
Brian Timothy McDevitt.
Thomas Arthur Oliver McDonald.
Catherine Elizabeth Osman.
Brooke Morrison Pancoast.
Christopher James Rogers Merkin.
Joseph Isaac Meyer.
Celia Sinclair Parkin.
Lauren Michelle Patterson.
Daniel Mark Michelson.
Daniel Ahn Michelson.
Carly Marianne Pietrobono.
Lindsay Marie Price.
Matthew Jiren Ming.
Gregory Joseph Mahler.
Nancy Taylor Quinn.
Shannon Rosemary Quinn.
Gregory Verton Momjen.
Philip Andrew Morabito.
Abigail Beth Raycheck.
Rebecca K. Raycheck.
Theodore Justice Morgan.
Dalton Morris.
Julia Marguerite Reichert.
Erin Elizabeth Reed.
Colin Bradley Mortensen Agnew.
Brandon Jeffrey Musselman.
Francis Isadora Do Rosario.
Shannon Rosario.
Mitchell Logan Nachman.
Maharsi Raju Naidu.
Rebecca Kessler Rosen.
Jordan Rebecca Rosenberg.
Kevin M.S. Yim.
Dung Kwok Win.
Alexandra Francella Royal.
Amy Lee Catherine Russell.
R. Scott Nye.
Sean Liam O'Hara.
Sydney Daniela Saker.
Norin Isam Salah.
Eli Samuel Offenkrantz.
Kianush Perdakti.
Natalia Fernanda Salinas.
Megan Elizabeth Shea.
Nicolas Antonio Pelaez.
Matthew Robertson Pelton.
Christine Sarah Schusted.
Catherine Anjali Singh.
Ian Matthew Pollock.
Robert Benjamin Pressman.
Allison Marie Soames.
Emily Christina Snowden.
James Geddes Puckett.
James Joseph Pertil.
Claire Deming Song.
Brittany Ellen Stanton.
Suhas Reddy.
Christopher Scott Regan.
Paige Morgan Stark.
Kendall Marie Stanton.
Michael Patrick Regan.
Stephen Scott Rode.
Meredith Alicia Steely.
Jamie Byrne Suzanin.
Kevin James Riley.
Lane Hopkins Sandler.
Emily Rose Swope.
Abigail Sidneys.
Ellis Schaefer.
Michael Kevin McCrone.
Catherine Elizabeth Taduni.
Jalen Shondell Tate.
Michael Robert Schock.
Jake Austin Shapiro.
Meredith Rosarine Thompson.
Sarah Paulina Cohn Trachtenberg.
Shane Evan Shapiro.
Luke Cameron Shaw.
Jenna Carmen Treat.
Sabrina Catherine E. Tucker.
Daniel Francis Sheridan.
Samuel Lee Sheridan.
Colby Louise Walker.
Hannah Elizabeth Watts.
Juno Samuel Shin.
Matthew Alva Simpson.
Christine Way.
Catherine Mary Weedman.
Judson Alexander Solomon.
Joseph Jonas Sorkin.
Alicia Nicole Williams.
Kimberly Zhang.
Benedict Peter Sprango, Jr.
Michael Charles Staples.
Selena Wing Yu Yip.
Joshua Ari Strayer.
Andre Alexander Stefanoff.
Joseph Edward Treadway.
Matthew Welsh Torrey.
Daniel Robert Van Trieste.
Griffin Samuel Unger.
Bowen Wong.
Alexius Lyle Waddell.
Eric Wee.
Devin Allen Webb.
Melvin Allen Wilson.
Rowan Garrett Williams. Congratulations, class of 2013.
Hello, class of 2013, faculty, staff, parents, and loved ones. Tonight, I have the honor to also bring our ceremony to a close. But before we close, I would like to thank a few people on behalf of the class of 2013 for their endless support and for ensuring that we all walked across this stage tonight. First, I would like to thank Mr. Skellinger for his guidance, leadership, and genuine love for each and every member of the class of 2013. I would also like to thank the faculty and staff of RHS. Their knowledge and support has more than prepared us all for what lies ahead. Classmates, I ask that we all take a moment to think about the people who were always there for us. They were there at every recorder concert, soccer game, and for those late-night, last-minute paper edits. I think we owe our parents a big round of applause, and to thank them for always being there for us and for their continued support and love as we grow into contributing members of society. Over the past couple of months, this speech has sort of been nagging in the back of my mind. I didn't know what to say or how to express myself in an eloquent, appropriate, and personal way. I would toss out ideas and bounce around various themes with my neighbors and friends. I thought about quoting musical artist Macklemore and his song, "And We Danced." We danced, we cried, we laughed, and had a really, really, really good time. Yes, the class of 2013 danced at prom, laughed at each other, with each other, and had a really great time over the past 4 years. But the class of 2013 embodies much more than that too. Maybe I should tell you about my theory on the hokey pokey. You know, you put your right arm in, your right arm out, you put your right arm in, and you shake it all about. I believe that the hokey pokey is the meaning to life. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that as members of a greater community or individuals just navigating life, the more you put into an experience, the more you get out of it. But it's important to shake it all about, so make sure you have fun and you can laugh at yourself. Although I really thought the hokey pokey theme was my ringer on this whole speech writing thing, it was still missing something. I had a few other ideas too, but none of them seemed worthy enough for the class of 2013. So, I've come to the conclusion that we are simply too unique, too special of a class, that no speech or message could ever embody that. In looking back at all these bad ideas, and over the past 4 years, there's one commonality that is very clear to me. I realize my corny speech ideas were just ways for me to express how the class of 2013 is connected, and we have been ever since our very first day of freshman year. We're connected to our peers, connected to the Radnor community, we're connected to our activities and our friends. This common connection that we all share with one another will keep us together in the future. It will keep us together in the future, even as we head in the different directions. It has formed us, it will guide us, and it will bring us back to this incredible high school experience when we least expect it. In different directions we go, to California, Colorado, Minnesota, and Maine, and everywhere else in between too. But we need to use our Radnor foundations to confidently continue to make connections and contributions. Congratulations, my friends. I'm so proud of all that we have accomplished, and I can't wait to see where our lives and connections take us.